What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. With 9th edition being a lot like 5th edition in that each codex boasts stronger rules, aka power creep, the Grey Knights seem a bit lackluster overall. So this previous weekend we had the pre-orders for both the Thousand Sons and the Grey Knight codices, and with that a ton of YouTubers had review copies sent out to them, and I've been diligently watching battle reports, and this is how I feel about the Grey Knights as of right now. Now, I'm still waiting to grab my copy when it releases officially this Saturday, so I may be a little preemptive in my assertions, but with that being said, this is what I've gathered that really stood out unit-wise in the 9th edition Grey Knight Codex. And honestly, so far only one unit has truly impressed me. So again, in this video, I'll go over the top 3 best units in the Codex, but before that, I do want to say that the Grey Knights seem a lot more tanky fighting against psychic armies than they are at being a strong psychically offensive army. And that is mainly because of their new special rule, the Aegis, which makes it easier for them to deny the witch with a +1 to their rolls, and on top of this, if they happen to take mortal wounds, be it via psychic powers or anything like that, they get a 5-up feel no pain against that. That's great and all, but their means to successfully cast their psychic powers are almost non-existent. And I think maybe it's because finally their smite is quote-unquote normal again. I say that because it used to be you cast smite and it's a flat 1 mortal wound. Now it's back to being D3 like everyone else. But anyway, I digress. Now let's jump into the main topic of this video, starting with my number 3 choice, and that is none other than Caldor Drago. So the badass himself has gotten even better than before, where most other named characters either got nerfed, voldus, or can be glossed over. Drago has survived relatively untouched. Coming in at 180 points, which is 10 points cheaper than before, he thankfully kept his 3-up invuln save. Pairing that up with his 2-up armor save, he'll survive for a pretty good while. He also boosts core Grey Knights with a reroll, rerolling hit rolls of 1. It's not an aura anymore. You basically choose this at the beginning of the command phase, so it's a little different, but I'm okay with it. On top of this, he has a master-crafted Stormbolter that's a little bit more souped up than everybody else's. It deals 2 damage and it has -1 AP, which is a welcome improvement. His melee stayed the same, which meaning that his Titan Sword is still strength +4, -4 AP, 3 damage. That's really good, because his Warlord trait really goes hand in hand with his melee capabilities. Drago gets a trait called Demon Slayer, which makes sense considering his lore. I mean, he's cursed to wander the Immaterium, slaying demons left and right over and over for all eternity. And it doesn't even matter, since they just keep on coming back. It really is quite tragic. But on the tabletop, this trait gives Drago an extra attack, pushing him to 6 attacks, and demons don't get their invulnerable saves against his melee attacks, meaning goodbye demon keyworded units, such as Bloodletters, Demon Engines, Demon Princes, yes, that's you, Be'lakor, and even Demon Primarchs as well. He's looking at you, Mortarion. Round 2. So all in all, he's a very good, solid choice for an HQ. Until you see my number 2 choice, and that's none other than the Grandmaster in a Nemesis Dread Knight. Before we get into what actually makes them so good, Dread Knights got a major buff in 9th edition in that they could move and shoot at no penalty due to them being vehicles. Now that got even better since its ranged weapons got buffed. The Heavy Incinerator went from damage 2 to only damage 1, but on the plus side, it is now 2d6 auto hits instead of the regular d6. The Gatling Silencer is now 12 strength 5 AP -1 1 damage shots, which it gained a strength and an AP, but it lost the D3 damage. And finally, the heavy sight cannon is now strength 8, minus 2 AP, and it deals 2 damage. So it did gain +1 strength and AP. Now that I've said that out loud, it doesn't sound so good. But anyway, where the Dread Knight shines is in close combat, with the new and improved, and I mean it this time, Nemesis Greatsword. He joined the club of having 5 strong attacks, or 10 weaker ones. On top of that, he has a 4-up invuln save, which used to be a 5-up, and he also has a drop in points, which really makes this guy shine. But the best part is that you can purchase a teleporter, which paired along with some stratagems here and there, allows you to be able to deep strike, shoot, charge, and attack your enemy, and then you can also fall back, but it will allow you to also do it all over again. So you can fall back, shoot, charge, attack. Really, really good stuff. So this kind of confirms the whole thing that Grey Knights are going to be CP hungry, and at the same time, Grey Knights really need to be in the mid to close combat area of 40k. If you're playing Grey Knights at range, you're doing something wrong. They really shine in close combat because their attacks in close combat is what deals the most damage. I mean, yes, you do have a few methods of using long range, but so far, Drago and the Grandmaster and a Dread Knight really do shine more so in close combat. So basically, when you're doing all these things with the command point, stratagem shenanigans, charging in, falling back, shooting, charging in against, this pretty much guarantees that whatever you're charging, it's minced meat. You're going to be slaying groups of things because you can use your Nemesis Greatsword to just get 10 attacks and just obliterate things, shooting them up, either lighting them on fire with your heavy incinerator or using a silencer with the 12 amounts of shots over and over again. You're good, you're golden. And the plus side is, since you are a Grandmaster, your HQ variant gets you an extra wound and an extra inch for movement. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I always take every inch given to me. 150 points base is not bad at all. Once you start adding all the bells and whistles with your Grandmaster, he's going to run you about 215 points. That's with the sword, the silencer, the sight cannon, and the teleporter. The one downside to this is that you can't spam him. Only 1 per detachment. And because of this, I can see lots of patrols running this guy as their warlord with 2 full units of strike squads. Why strike squads, you might ask? Why not use Terminators? Well, that's because the strike squad is the best unit in the Codex, hands down. Coming in at 2 wounds each, finally, this Sanctic Marine, oh, that's their keyword now. Grey Knights are no longer Adeptus Astartes. They now have the Sanctic Astartes keyword, which once you start souping things and having like Gilliman and trying to use auras and whatnot, it kind of hinders things and whatnot. But regardless, these guys are really good. So again, 2 wounds each, base 3 attacks. They can deep strike in. Depending on their loadout, they're going to be really, really killy. Say you give them Nemesis Falchions, boom, extra attacks. Say you want to do a little bit more strength, boom, give them the halberds. Or just you want to be an all-around monster, swords are really good. Or if you want to go a little bit overboard, give everybody Nemesis Demon Hammers and just watch your opponent's monsters and vehicles just melt away. These guys are the bread and butter to every Grey Knight list. Oh, and on top of that, these guys can do Smite, and remember, Smite is back at it with D3 mortal wounds. So it is really, really good to be playing 2 wound, 10-man squads of strike squads. They're just gonna obliterate everything. They do come with Stormbolters, so already they're better than a regular Marine in that they get more regular attacks. Stormbolters are going to be 2 shots as opposed to the 1 for the bolter. So, and you get Smite, and you can Deep Strike, and you can kit them out with various close combat weapons. Like, these guys are really, really good. So as an example, the basic Force Sword, Strength +1, AP -3, 2 damage. That is really, really good. And on top of this, the weird change-up from 8th edition to 9th edition, or the 9th edition codex, I guess you could say, is that each individual type of unit has their own psychic power to them. So no longer are you thinking, okay, so this strike squad has Hammerhand, this one has Gate of Infinity. No. Strike squads just come with Hammerhand, which also got changed. So that basically just means they get to re-roll their wound rolls. That's also hilarious, because they're really good in close combat. They're going to be hitting a lot, and with those hits, you can re-roll the wound roll. Like, these guys are amazing. Chef's Kiss, I love them, and I thankfully have 20 of these guys already. So, minimum 2 troop choices are going to be 10 strike squads. Now, the interesting thing is how to play them. How will they be performing at their max? Would it be halberds, falchions, swords, demon hammers, nemesis warding staves, or a mix? So that is going to be up for interpretation as more people start playing this army, more games start giving us feedback, but I have a feeling that the just standard sword is going to be sought after more so. Even though you do get more attacks with the falchion, but... And again, I was talking a lot about their melee capabilities, but let's not forget that they can also be given silencers, flamers. I think one of them is free, and after that you could get another one changed, but you have to pay the points for that one. But still, like, they already have storm bolters. A full 10-man squad is going to be shooting 20 shots of storm bolters, softening up whatever they need to, and then charging in and just decimating whatever's left. So those were my picks for the top 3 units in the Grey Knight Codex. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you think something else is better. But I'm pretty sure you guys can't top the Strike Squad as being the best unit in 9th edition for the Grey Knights. It really sucks because I wanted Terminators to be good since I've got 20 of them as well. But I'll mess around with lists. I'll play more Terminators, I'll play more Strike Squads, but regardless, Dread Knights did get really good. The Grandmaster in a Dread Knight got even better. Drago, luckily, still stayed amazing. And, yeah, I'm somewhat content. Because all in all, looking at the other rules and psychic stuff that the Grey Knights got in their codex, it felt very lackluster, especially comparing it to, like, the Orcs, the Sisters of Battle. Dark Angels got really great stuff. And I thought this book was going to be much more closer to the Dark Angels, but we'll see. Like I said, we got to get some games under our belt with these new rules, and I'll come back and I'll talk to you guys as to how I'm doing with the Grey Knights. Next army that I want to see is how the Custodes will be switching it up. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what I had to say here, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and you guys can always support us over on our Patreon page. A simple $1 a month goes a long way in us giving you guys 40K videos each and every day. Once again, this has been the Sound Alchemist, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.